am making another one of these bags, so I figured I'd walk y'all through it again because people got all the questions, and there's some stuff that I kind of just figured people knew and I didn't share, and I guess I should have. So for starters, you need your fabric for your side panels, which I'm going to do the light purple on the sides. So I need one for each of those. Out of these two, I can probably get my bottom panel too. So these will be my sides and my bottom. I've got two there. These will be my front and back, and I've got two of these. Now, inside, I'm going to make this one white. And so I need the front, the back, the two sides, the bottom, and I think I might put pockets in this one. Now, we need straps. So what color am I going to do the straps? I am going to do the little straps, the light purple, and the big straps, the dark purple. So I'll need, like, I might could do it out of one, but I'm going to have two just in case. So we're going to cut. I'm going to cut all of my strips, and then I'll come back and show you exactly what I have and what I cut it to. Let me add that before I start cutting on this, I'm going to iron these creases out of these before I... This ironing stuff takes a while, just so you know. I use Best Press. We're going to go to day 2 because I'm tired. So all of my pieces are cut. I have the inside 6 by 18, 3 6 by 18 strips, 2 18 by 18 strips. That's my inside. I also took a piece of fabric to make a pocket, and I'm going to sew that on there when I sew that together. When I sew it together, I'm going to leave a hole across the bottom so that I can turn the whole thing inside out. I have 2 18 by 18 for my front and my back, and those are attached to by any Soft and Stable. I'm going to quilt them. I have 3 for my sides and my bottom. That's a contrasting color. That's what we're doing. We're staying in the purple family. I've got those. And I have 2 30 by 36 inch by 4 inch that I folded in half and in half again. And I put some stabilizer in the middle of these. And I'm going to sew down one side, back up the other. I also have 2 18 inch. I think these are 18s. They're 20 inch by 4 inch that I did the same thing to. And I've got them pinned right now because I've got to sew down up one side, down the other, and then iron them real well before I attach them. So now we're just going to head to the sewing machine and we're going to sew these pieces together. Now, you're going to sew your inside separately from your outside, and you're just making a box. So the first thing you're going to do is quilt your pieces, and then you're going to sew it together like a box, and then we'll meet back here. I have quilted all of my pieces, and I have sewn all of my strips for my handles. I have also made a box, a square box, and left a hole in the bottom here, and sewn in my pocket for my liner. So now I'm going to iron all of these pieces, mainly because I used an erasable ink on these to do my stripes. So I've got to iron that out. And then my strips for my handles, I want them to be really nice and flat when I sew. So I'm going to make sure that they're nice and flat again. I'm going to iron them one more time. And then we're going to piece our bag together. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to make one more little loop to put on the outside to hold a keychain. It's a little D-ring loop. I'll show you that when I do it. For the keychain loop, which I'm going to make a couple of them, I turned it. It's a 4-inch piece that I had. It looked like this when I started. I put no stabilizer in it. I folded it in half and in half and in half until it was this small. It's only about maybe a 1/2 inch now, and I sewed down both sides, and it looks kind of like this. and we're gonna make little loops out of it that you can hook things to on the outside. So I'll show you that when we... All right, so first things first, we're gonna place our straps where we want them. And I like to center, I've got a center stripe here right at the 9-inch mark. I like to center my center one, my short ones, and I'm gonna hang them in about, outside about, I don't know, maybe an inch. So that's gonna shorten it by an inch. And I like to hang it just centered right there. And then I'll do the other one on the other side. And I am going to tack these down as I place them so that they don't get lost when I sew everything. Just so I make sure I don't forget to tell you, I'm going to place this one just to the outside of that one. There's maybe an inch in between them, and I'm going to pull it up a little bit till I get it where I want it. And it's going to hang off about an inch of the edge too. Now, when we place that, we are also going to place our loop that we want on one side of it. And it's going to go kind of right like that. Like the loop is in there, the raw ends are to me, and they hang off about an inch. And we are going to tack these down. They're all tacked in place and hanging down this way. So now we're going to sew our bag together. I'm going to sew the box together for the outside. Somewhere right in here is where I need to decide whether I want to put embroidery on the outside or not. And I decided not to with this one because she's turning 60 and I don't know if it's kind of too old to have your name on things, I think. Yeah, so I've got the top and the front and the back hooked to the bottom, and now I'm going to put these side pieces in. You make sure and put them whatever way you want, and they will go the same way. Pretty side to pretty side. You're gonna sew it, and then you're gonna sew up each side. You're gonna connect your sides, and we're gonna... All right, so you've sewn your box together, and I'm gonna take my pinking shears and trim, just because I like to do that because it looks a little bit better, and then we'll put the inside and the outside together. I'm gonna trim these close, but you do not want to cut what you just made. So now we're gonna take this bag that we've made, we're gonna tuck all of these straps inside of here, in the inside, and we are gonna put, what are we gonna do? How am I going to do this? Oh, wait. We're going to flip it inside out first. We're going to flip it inside out. You got to think about this because you will jack this up if you don't think about it. So I'm checking to make sure there's nothing I need to fix first, because it'll be hard to go back and fix it. So check all your seams. All right. So now, yes, we're going to leave these on the outside. And we are going to take, this is our inside. And our inside material is inside out. You see the outside's here and the inside's in the inside. And we're going to put this bag down inside of this bag. Easier than it looks. We've got it pinned all the way around the edge, and our handles are nowhere to be found because they're in between like a sandwich. Let me go sew it together. Now you're going to carefully pull it out of the bottom and flip it upside down. Or right side out. The only thing you have left to do is close your hole in this. And I like to put a stitch around the very top, and I zigzag when I get to the straps so that they're stronger. It's all done. The other thing I did was trim my stragglers and got them off of there. Now I've got to load it with all the good stuff for the birthday. And I'll show you guys that in a whole different post because there's a lot. It'll be fun.